Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects pretty much all of us, but in ways we might not even see coming. This isn't just about what you hear, it's about how you hear, and why protecting that sense is absolutely crucial for the long-term health of your brain. Okay, let's just dive right in with the single most important takeaway. The science on this is solid. Hearing loss is not just an ear problem. There is a direct, proven connection to cognitive decline and dementia. Just think about it. When your brain is constantly straining, working overtime just to figure out what's being said, it has way fewer resources left for everything else, like memory. So this is about so much more than just your ears. It's about protecting your mind. And this is a massive, and I mean massive, global issue. Right now, 1.5 billion people are dealing with some level of hearing loss. And to really put that in perspective, that number is expected to shoot up to over 2.5 billion by 2050. It's like a silent epidemic that's happening right under our noses. You know, what makes this whole crisis so tricky is that a lot of the damage happens long before we notice anything is wrong. We are living in a world that's just getting louder and louder, and our ears are paying the price, often in ways that a standard hearing test might not even pick up. This is something called hidden hearing loss. Think about the last time you went to a really loud concert or a game. You know that muffled feeling or that ringing in your ears you have afterwards? Well, we all used to just think, oh, it'll go away. We now know that feeling can actually be a sign of permanent damage to the tiny, delicate nerve connections inside your ear. So, to really appreciate what's at stake here, what we stand to lose, we first have to understand the incredible, almost magical piece of engineering that's at work inside our ears every single second of the day. It is a beautiful, intricate dance. A sound wave, which is really just a vibration in the air, travels into your ear. It makes your eardrum vibrate, which in turn moves the 3 smallest bones in your entire body. That movement creates waves in a fluid deep inside your inner ear, and those waves bend thousands of microscopic hair cells. That simple bending motion is instantly turned into an electrical signal that just zips along the auditory nerve straight to your brain, which decodes it as words or music or laughter. It's just incredible, and it all happens in a flash. And this is where it gets just mind-boggling. The actual organ that does the hearing, the cochlea, is unbelievably tiny, and it's filled with just 3 raindrops worth of fluid. And yet, get this, it can detect vibrations that are smaller than a single atom. It's a system with a level of precision that's almost impossible to imagine. And it's that very same delicacy that makes it so vulnerable. Okay, so now that we get how incredibly delicate our hearing is, let's look at the real-world dangers we're facing every day. How loud is actually too loud? We measure sound using decibels or dB. So a normal conversation is about 60 dB, a motorcycle roaring by can be 100 dB, and a loud concert, that can easily hit 115 dB or even more. Now, what's really important to remember here is that the decibel scale is logarithmic. That's a fancy way of saying a small jump in the number is actually a massive increase in sound intensity and its power to do damage. This all brings us to a really simple rule of thumb you can use. It's called the 83 rule. Basically, you can safely listen to a sound at 80 decibels for about 8 hours a day. But for every 3 decibels you go up, you have to cut your safe listening time in half. So at 100 decibels, your safe time drops to just 15 minutes. And at 110 decibels, you're talking less than 2 minutes before damage can start. Now, I know all of this might sound a little alarming, but here's the really good news. Protecting your hearing doesn't have to be complicated at all. There are really simple, really effective things we can all do to take back control of our auditory health. So, what does that actually look like day to day? Well, the best strategies are the ones that are easy to remember and easy to do, and they can make a world of difference over your lifetime. First off, wear earplugs at loud events. Seriously, it's what the musicians on stage are doing. Second, always keep that 80/3 rule in the back of your mind. And here's an easy one for headphones. If the person next to you can hear what you're listening to, it is absolutely too loud. And finally, just give your ears a break. Step outside, find a quiet room, let those little hair cells have a chance to rest and recover. And here's something that you might not expect. Some really interesting research, especially from studies with the military, suggests that magnesium can actually help protect the inner ear from noise damage. You can find it in foods like seeds and nuts, dark leafy greens like spinach, and fish like salmon. And that brings us right back to where we started. All of this, protecting the tiny mechanical parts of your ear, it's really about preserving something much bigger. your connection to the world around you, and the health of your brain itself. Helen Keller, who understood the loss of both sight and hearing so deeply, said it perfectly. She said that while blindness separates you from things, deafness separates you from people. Hearing is that fundamental sense that connects us to each other through our voices, our emotions, and all our shared experiences. So here's the bottom line. Every single time you turn down the volume or pop in some earplugs or just take a quiet break, you're doing way more than just protecting your ears. You're making a powerful, long-term investment in your brain. You're easing its workload, you're helping to prevent the social isolation that can creep in when listening becomes a struggle. You're staying connected to the people and the world you love. Our world is not getting any quieter. The sounds, the gadgets, the noise, it's all ramping up. So the real question we all have to ask ourselves is, are we actually listening to the warnings? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.